My passion is to help entrepreneurs build $1 trillion in enterprise value over the next few years. I mean, I've got a very deep passion that I think $1 trillion in enterprise value amongst a handful of entrepreneurs over the next 25 years is a deep passion of mine.
I love that.
So I look at your business and I'm like, hey, how can Earn It All be a $100 million enterprise value business in the next 5 to 7 years? That's really what I want to talk about.
I think one common theme you might have picked up on is I kind of think outside the box on stuff. And I'm not scared to consider new things and go in different directions, right? So all last year, we were just basically beating social media and events and doing sales direct to consumer, onesie, twosies here and there, right? So what we are doing now is we have partnered up with a company called Break Time U. They have direct access to thousands and thousands of companies that they already serve with different products and services. These companies have identified and told us they do want corporate wellness. They want their teams to get better. Everything we've talked about here, leadership, executive training, fitness for the masses. So what I'm so excited to tell you about is that, like, most people will stay, okay, cool. Last year we did, $750,000, onesie, twosies, just selling a program here and there type of thing. And maybe a lot of people would be like, okay, that kind of worked. That was our first year, essentially full year doing this part of the business, right? So not bad for the first year. Maybe we should double down on that and take that up, 2x, 3x this next year or something like that. I look at it differently though. I look at, we can reach a heck of a lot more people if we go to this, like you said, kind of enterprise level. If we go to work directly with organizations and from the top down help their people. So that is our shift over now. So we have basically taken the need to market to the individuals basically out of the equation for now. And we are directly infusing in these companies. And along the way, we can help and sell them other things now as well. Products, sponsorships, all sorts of stuff at a very large, high level. And we've done this with a couple companies. We're kind of removing ourselves from that day-to-day, trying to go viral, trying to get the likes, trying to get the hook, social media, trying to do that. I think that's kind of the old school way now. Because when you show that, like,
no, that's a great way to build rich.
That's cool.
But it's not going to build wealth.
No.
And 100 million, now you're getting into wealth.
That's right.
And if you want to make a couple million, you can play the social game all day long.
That's right. 100%. This is our way to really create a lasting impact with thousands and thousands of people that we didn't have to market to, essentially.
So when I think about scale, and I think about you growing the business and scaling the business, I get the concept of having distribution of your product and service delivered through many different other avenues. As an example, you could talk about healthcare providers, all these other areas where you could do that. And I'm a huge advocate of scaling and scaling through distribution. But I believe that a couple years in, and really where you are with Earn It All right now, that one thing you absolutely cannot do is let anyone carry your message except you and your team. The advocacy of you and your team and the brand and the message, nobody's going to do it. And let me just tell you, unless I missed something so far, you're not deeply focused on technology. Technology is a tool and a resource that's going to allow you to scale your product so it's more functional, so it has better utilization for an end user like me. Right? To do assessments, to keep up with tracking, to engage, right? But the core of what you're doing is really about the identity of who you and your team are. I love technology. Every business I have, we are pressing technology, whether it be ERPs, CRMs, whether it be applicant tracking systems, whether it be anything and everything. I love the tool of technology. But there is nothing that is going to build a business like yours more than the people. So I'm just telling you, if your business is going to explode and scale, I would almost be cautious on engaging in big enterprise level relationships that are going to allow it to get out there, because here's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to get a false sense of failure potentially. And what I mean is, you're not going to see it scale as much as you want because you're dependent upon these other vehicles to scale it. So you're in the early years. You're in the first 5 years of Earn It All. And I would just tell you that the goal to this business is going to be the heart and the knowledge of the people that are in it. And I understand that even when you use, let's call them affiliates. even when you use these affiliates to go out and market the product to the marketplace, that the product is still going to be your people.
Right.
But as what I'm saying is, in order to conquest the sale, in order to get the deal, in order to get the conversion, in order to close the deal, it's going to be about your people. I'm buying you. Is the reason I brought up technology is technology levels the playing field. Anybody that's going to be progressive and advanced in business today is going to utilize technology.
Right.
The difference in what's going to make a business go from good to great and to be exceptional is going to be the people. And you're in the people business.
I love everything you just said about the people and the technology. What we've been talking about this entire trip has been technology so far, because we have two different two apps that we use right now. We're looking to get something better. So we've been researching like crazy on the absolute best user, interface and all that kind of stuff. Like that's huge for us, especially scaling at this. But I know you're going to be happy to hear that, like, as we go through these different businesses, we're driving the ship of 100%. So the way that we are able to get down and into these businesses is through massive educational media that we inject of ourselves into those companies, and then us direct conversations and pitches with the decision makers. So they don't see a brand. They obviously they're going to see the brand, but like you said, they're buying us.
Yeah, they
and
are.
Like that is huge. Like the last thing that I want is just to be like, oh yeah, like we're cool brand, get our thing, and then just like collect MRR. Like no, I don't want that. I want to get in there and give these people, no matter how big the scale is, the same level of care and belief and results that we get to one-on-one.
All right, how are we going to get to 100 million in enterprise value? 100 million in enterprise value doesn't mean that you have to do 100 million in sales.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to make 100 million in profit.
Right.
Usually it's some mathematical equation of those. How do we get Earn It All to, call it $20 million in top line revenue? And on a $20 million top line revenue, we could go all over the place with margins. I don't know what you expect your margins to be. A business that is going to be people intensive. It's going to have people, which people are amazing. They're the most powerful thing on this earth, right? Driven by extraordinary technology, so you can optimize the business.
Yes.
Is it fair to say maybe we'll use a 50% margin? So your profit margin could be 50%.
Yes.
So you do 20 million in revenue. You have $10 million left in profit in the business.
Right.
There's a lot of ways to get there. It could be, everyone loves to talk about monthly recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue. I can tell you this. We talked about customers, and you brought up something that I thought was very thoughtful and a different approach to your industry. And that's that, hey, if we help someone for 90 days and we help them get their life in the direction they want to go on, they don't have to keep paying us.
Right.
My experience is that when someone's getting value and you're helping them win and head in the right direction and the compass is going the right way, they're going to be excited to pay you forever. It's great that you're delivering value to say, hey, even if someone can only do this for 90 days, we authentically want to help them. We want to be impactful. My experience is, again, if you're providing them, what my buddy Tony Robbins says, irresistible value that they absolutely, cannot deny.
Right.
If you're delivering that, they're going to pay you forever.
That's right.
So
we have many repeat customers especially at our high level. Then it's, repeat 90. They just keep going because of that reason.
Yeah.
Like we've basically taught them what they need, but they don't want to get out of the accountability.
Right.
They don't want to get cut off from the education. They want us with
accountability
them.
is
huge.
like the greatest blessing if it produces results.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Accountability with results and improvements.
Right.
Improvement is just gold. So, okay, we got to tackle these numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
20 million top line.
Okay.
The 10 million we can come to in a minute.
Okay.
But we're going to go get 20 million in revenue.
Okay.
Right? You said that technology you felt like was a big way to do that, and I'm guessing that means that there's an app with a subscription.
So one of the things that we are working on is essentially a lot of trainers in this space, they get an app and they use it, they scale it, they do their thing, and they kind of stay right there and stay in their lane, right? Right away, as we built out our current technology that we're using, we see massive ways to improve it.
Okay.
But not just to make our own app, we also see ways to take the top training platform, Trainerize, that we use right now, and if we can figure out, we're working with some coders and some designers right now, if we can figure out how to do a very specific thing on the back end that is not currently possible, that we know other trainers need, that is something we know we could license or sell as a piece of technology as well.
Okay.
So we're always looking at things differently. One, how can we get more efficient and, be better for the customer, but also like, what technological problems can we solve right now for the current technology that exists? Okay. So we see a couple different ways for us to almost become like a tech company in a way, or at least own some IP in the tech world that has massive opportunity to the major like white label players in the space.
Yeah.
So we're looking at all these different angles, and that's why I brought the team up, because I don't just need like 10 trainers on the team, I need Rob's brain, I need Adam's brain. They're very different. They do different things. We have other people on the team that think very differently, that have helped scale businesses. We have tech people. We have people that are looking at different angles of this thing, looking for what you just said. Okay, if we can do 10 million a year in just like selling 597 programs, great. But what are we building along the way that is going to make this just irresistible as a multiple and as a buyout, right? With intellectual property, with real technology that only we have, that we use, that we prove that works, that it could be licensed or sold. And then also like the brand, brand is really big too, right? So we're building all these different things.
No, this is good. This is good. So let's bring this back.
Yes.
There is nothing that you will create that will be more valuable than retained customers.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think about what's the outcome, what's the result, building tech and being deeply vertically integrated into your own business where you have a tech solution is great. But I would encourage you that anything that's around technology is not around solving a problem for the fitness industry around technology as much as it is allowing you to engineer a way to retain your customer longer.
Okay.
How do you keep your customer longer?
Sure.
How do you keep your customer integrated? And I think you're going to end up in the same place.
Sure.
I think that if your goal, because if you think about it, at the end of the day, look, you're not building a tech company.
Right.
You may build a tech company accidentally along the way, which
yeah.
happens all the time, and they're a great story.
Sure.
Because now you're trading on a 20x multiple, you're trading off revenue, not profitability. I mean, there's a lot of different deals.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you're not going to do that. I think that you have a great chance to build extraordinary tech because of the disposition and the way that you're going after the industry.
Yeah.
Which is with this authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you're going to have the ability to even create applications and technology that have the same alignment with that heart factor that your trainers and the people on your team have.
Right.
And I think that's another miss, right? Because, when you've got, people that are structured and disciplined, that are screaming and yelling at you, driving programmers on building applications for the fitness industry, you're going to get more of the same.
Yeah.
It's going to look a little different because it's technology, but it's going to be more of the same.
Sure.
So I would say that, the collateral opportunity for you is going to be technology.
Okay.
Your ability to have a business, subscription-based businesses are gold.
Yes.
We don't have to talk about it, right? They're absolutely gold. The fitness industry may be the inventors of the subscription-based industry. If you think about, health clubs, I've got a business partner that is a very, multi-billionaire that's been very successful in the health club industry, in the fitness industry.
Sure.
Because of the subscription model.
Right.
I'm in industries because subscription models are amazing, right? I think there's a challenge in the fitness industry, the way that you're delivering it, where there's a very, very high attrition rate, where you're losing a lot of customers. You're always having to, I pay attention to those that are educating the digital marketplace on how to build massive funnels and to be able to generate tons of leads and how to get a ton of revenue.
Right.
I wish somebody would take as much time and passion and effort and teach people how to create customers and how to keep customers. Not just create customers, but keep customers.
Yes.
Because if you deliver relentless value to those customers and you retain those customers, you're going to get a multiple arbitrage.
Sure.
You're going to get more money when you go to sell your business than if you say, hey, we know how to bring in 100,000 customers a month and to keep X percentage of them. And we know how to do that every month so we can always grow and outrun our attrition, right? Because that's kind of the model you hear about.
Yes.
Is right. It's how to keep that funnel going.
Right.
But the problem is you've got so much leaking out of it. And I think in your industry, you have another opportunity to say, hey, when you're standing up in 5 years, talking to someone that's beating your door down because they're like, Justin, we want to acquire your business. And I know, I have a good feeling that is what that means is not only is it going to be a win for you and your family, it's going to be a win for the people that have come along this journey and built this with you, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to share it with them. For them to have that conversation with you and to say, hey, we love what you're doing. We love your business. We love what we see. That's great. But when they get to look behind the curtain and they get to see what your retention rate of customers is, and it's higher than anybody else's in the industry, buddy, you're going to get to control the narrative, the conversation of what the enterprise value of that company is worth. And so if you're focused on technology and making technology more accessible, more user-friendly, so on and so on and so forth, if you say, what's the outcome of all of that? The outcome needs to be retention.
Yeah.
It's all about retention. It's so easy in this game we play with digital marketing, digital media, to say, hey, we know if we spend $20, we're going to get X number. We know the game. It's a game. It's a game, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. But if you can build it so you're retaining the customer,
right?
Someone's not required to always capitalize the funnel, right? They don't always do it, and it grows organically, and you get massive enterprise value.
So it's almost like if you actually get people results, actually care about them, and have real substance behind what you do, you can get better retention.
I mean,
it's almost like that, right?
Sounds pretty sophomoric. I mean, for a guy that's working on F-35s and, doing everything that you've done in your career, and it sounds very sophomoric.
Yeah.
But it really is simple. And
yeah.
I think the science, my opinion is that the science in fitness should be the price of admission. If you're going to be a credible, valuable individual or organization in the fitness industry, you should lead with science.
Yes.
Right? And there are some people doing that right now. You're doing that. There are a few other people that are doing that. But here's where the gold is. Here's where the magic is, in my opinion. It's freaking that heart.
Yeah.
If you can marry the heart with the science, I think you win. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it valuable, please watch this next one. I think you're going to love it.